Hello, everyone. How are you today? It's Esther, and I'm back again with my friend June. So, just wait for her to come on. Thanks for joining us wherever you are joining us from. Having some technical issues, so please pardon me for that. Yeah. Hello, June.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, we are back.
Yeah,
How are you?
I am
You can greet
fine, and
our
you?
viewers. Yeah,
Huh?
I'm fine. You can say hello to our viewers because I'm seeing Sister
Yeah.
Chinwe,
Um,
Brother Paul.
Good morning, good morning. Yes, it's another opportunity, and we are really grateful to continue with this wonderful series about discovering ourselves. And
Yeah.
yeah, the process is continuous. So it's a very interesting topic, and we hope we will be blessed together.
Okay. All right. So, dear viewers, we are going to talk about a very important topic. We are still going through our series of Discover Yourself. And so far, we've covered how you can discover yourself, and then the process of that, the process involved in that. Then we ask the question, who am I? Now we want to ask another question, where am I going? And how do I get there? But for now, we want to start with the question, where am I going? And this is about vision. Vision. Where am I going? Okay. So we believe that throughout this series, we've been pondering on all the questions we've been asking ourselves because we are all still in the process of discovering ourselves. Okay. So it is important that this topic will give us guidelines on how to come about with a vision if we don't have one. Okay. Because many times people will say, oh, I'm not so sure about coming up with a vision. We are going to discuss that. And then next time when we come back, we'll talk about goal setting. All right. Yeah. So June, what can you say about our topic today?
Um, you know, this topic is one of the most important, topics and the things that we need to consider in life.
Yeah.
And I'm reminded, I'm reminded of a quotation which was given by the late Dr. Miles Monroe, and it was interesting. He says, "The poorest man in the world is the man without a dream." And, people sometimes we think you are poor because you don't have money. You are poor because you don't have a house and what. But actually, those are just outcomes. Sometimes they
Mm.
are outcomes of not having a dream. But
Mm.
okay, different circumstances can happen and somebody can find themselves in an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
But in life, if we really, really want to live a purposeful life, you really need to have a dream. You need to have a vision. You need to have something that you are looking forward into achieving. And it was said that, where there is no vision, life becomes really, really scary. When you don't have something that you are looking forward to accomplish, you see something change,
Mm.
it's like you don't have any drive to live for. So life becomes scary. You dread getting up in the morning. For those who go to work, you reach a point, you're just going there because if you don't go there, there will be no money to pay bills, and life becomes really,
Mm.
really a painful process. But when
Yeah.
you have a dream or a vision, it helps. It helps. So we really
Yeah.
believe that it's going to really challenge us, not only the viewers, but even us who are speaking. Probably there's some, as we speak, some of these questions will help us to reflect
Yeah.
concerning our lives and dreams. Yeah.
All right. Yes. So let's go on. So what is a vision? When we talk about vision, when you hear that word, what comes into our mind? I'd like the viewers to type something down. What do you understand by the word vision? Is it just sight to see, ability to see? Yeah, it will help us, it will guide us. Okay, please type what you understand by the word vision. I'll just give you a minute to do that. Where are you going? John, it's interesting that, when you don't ask yourself that question, it's like you go through life like, a random thing, comme si, comme ça, anything goes, and you may end up going in a place where you don't want. You fall in the hands of wrong people, and you end up living a wasted life.
Yeah.
So that question is very key. It's very key to what we accomplish in life. What do you understand by the word vision? Brother Wycliffe is saying it's a good one. Thanks a lot. Okay. Yeah. Please let us know what you understand by the word vision. Okay. So that 1 minute is over. Vision. Okay. Vision to me is an idea or a mental picture that one has. Okay. That is connected to a desire they have for the future. For example, if you look around in any sphere of influence that you may be in, is it social, media, economic, politics, religion, education, and a celebration that is sports, music, dance, and drama, any sphere that you are in right now, is there a particular area that you have a desire to see in the future? So that idea that you have, that mental picture can be a vision. So a vision is connected to the change you desire to see in a situation around you. For example, if you are connected to a social sphere and you just see orphans everywhere, and you just say, I wish we don't have orphans. What if maybe we set up orphanages, or we set up seminars to talk to parents, about this ordeal, or let me talk to our local leaders about this ordeal. How can we help our orphans? That could be a desire, a change you want to see. So it's connected to a burden that you have, something that you want to change in the surrounding, your environment. So it's something that you always carry in your heart wherever you go. Someone approaches you, it's one of those first things that come out of your mind, of your mouth, to talk about. Wherever you go, they'll know, this one, she's going to talk about that. Why? It's because it's with you. It's a burden you're carrying. That could be a vision. Okay. And the one thing about vision is that a true vision is never about you. Yeah, it's never about you. I know some people are going to say, oh, what is she saying? What if I have a vision to get my job, to go abroad? We'll come to that. Why do I say that a vision is never about you? Okay. This is because a vision should always be bigger than yourself. Okay. Because we've been talking about living a purposeful life. Okay. And not being egocentric in your life. So if you have an idea that, oh, I thought my vision is to build my own home. Well, I can ask you, okay, you're building your own home, but for who? For what? Is it to show everyone that you have what it takes? That you have the money, or you have arrived, as people say? in those terms. Okay, why build a house? But someone who's visionary would say, you know what, I want this house to be big enough so that anyone who comes here will experience heaven. Anyone who comes here will experience love. So that person will not only incorporate rooms for his wife and children, but rooms for other people. So when you're saying that a vision, a true vision is always bigger than yourself, then that can be a vision. Okay? A great physician, not physician as in a doctor, but someone who did physics, in history, a German physicist, Albert Einstein. He said a statement. He said, only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Only a life lived for others, is a life worthwhile. So he discovered something. In his invention in physics, that famous formula of energy is equals mass multiplied by the speed of light, is famous in history today. Why? Because he lived for other people. He lived to invent that truth in physics. So it is very true that a vision should be connected to other people and not be egocentric in nature. June, tell us, what is a vision?
I think you've really nailed it, that vision is about others. Actually, when I look at vision, vision is about transformation. Vision is about innovation. Vision is about, bringing positive change in the society and community around you. It can be a global vision, it can be a local vision, to reach out, but it is something that you aim at making other people's lives better. And therefore, I'm just reminded of how even myself initially, I used to think things like getting married or relocating to, abroad, or, getting a good job and salary. I used to think those were visions. But I actually came to realize those are just means to help us to realize the bigger picture of our lives. Like you have said, a vision is something bigger than you. A vision is something that goes beyond you, my wife, and my children, and me and myself. It's something that will bring a solution to a particular issue to other people around. And I'm looking at someone like Bill Gates. When he came up with the issue of Microsoft, that was a transformation in the IT industry. And so that was a vision. Maybe he sat there and he realized how, people, the way we do paperwork, by the time you start writing letters and to post them, or, filing systems, and we used to do paper. What if an office catches fire? You've lost everything. So somebody came up with an idea of computerizing and documenting things electronically. So they are stored somewhere, even if a building, catches fire or something else happens, you still have something that is stored somewhere. So that is an idea somebody came up with, addressing a particular issue. And people like Steve Jobs, they built up on that. Today we are celebrating Apple and all its products. I don't even know what version of Apple we are today. Steve Jobs passed away 7 years ago, but his vision still continues.
Wow.
People like Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa, when you mention of her vision was just helping the poor. So everywhere, you take her to Japan, you take her to India, you take her to South Africa, she will have the same thing, that all she wants is to see the lives of the poor or people improved, So she will do whatever she needs to do. So whether she went to school, whether she had a house, whatever she had, all those things were to help her to achieve those kind of things. And I'm remembering, Egypt, like in Egypt, where it's very, very dry in the desert. Somebody might have sat there and thought, oh, there is a river here called River Nile, which passes not far from here. We can use that to irrigate. So you
Yes.
see how vision comes. Vision is something that will lead to transformation. Vision
Mm.
is something that will make life easier for others, you know, for a
Mm.
certain particular group of people, community, nation. So we just want us to encourage us to be thinking big, because that ability and that idea is the inside of every individual. The only thing is, have we discovered it? And I think today we will help us to, you know, start to think big. Mm.
Yes. Yes. Wow. When you're talking, what came to my mind is that actually a vision is supposed to live forever.
Yeah,
It's supposed to even outlive the person
yeah,
who started it. Because you talked about Mother Teresa, the foundation is still going on. All these great historians that are no longer here, we are still benefiting, from what they did. They were researched on what they invented. So a vision, saying that a vision is supposed to be bigger than you, is really true, because it's supposed to be outliving you.
mm.
For those that are, Christians, take an example of our Lord Jesus Christ. He started a movement. Okay.
Mm.
Now, long before all the disciples are gone, people are still moving forward. So that's a good example, just to throw that out there.
Mm.
So why is having a vision very important in our lives? Why is this important? It's important because it makes you be focused in life. It makes you be focused. For example, a person who's visionary will look at their contact list on their phone, or emails and all that, and they'll realize that actually, is everyone on this list useful to me at this point in time? Okay, so they'll specifically select people who they know that, okay, this one, you know is helping me in this area, this one, and then drop other unnecessary contacts, just to be focused, just to be focused. And with a visionary person, usually quality is better than quantity.
Yeah.
Another example I can give is, if a young man or a young woman wants to be an inventor, so they will be focused on reading that subject, going to university to study that particular subject. The library will actually be their friend. The laboratory will be their friend. Okay, so it will be a rare situation for them to find themselves in gangs, end up in gangs doing crimes, maybe drug addiction, those drug business, guns, stealing, abusing alcohol and drugs, all those things. Why? Because they know where they're going. They've actually answered that question: where am I going? So when you have a vision, you escape so many traps. There are mistakes that you avoid. Why? Because you're focused. Another example could be, why I'm saying that having a vision makes your life a focused life, is that, for example, you're earning money, okay, and each month you get an income. Someone with a vision will live on a budget, knowing that, okay, this percentage of the income is for this. This percentage of the income is for this. Whereas someone without a vision will just spend anyhow. You just walk on the street, anything that pleases you. You know what? I've been paid. Let me let me reward myself. Usually cover ourselves. I'm rewarding myself. I'm working so hard. But are you visionary? Are you planning to achieve where you want to go? Are you making those small steps to help you reach your destination? Someone who is visionary will always stick to budgets. So they'll not fall into the traps of, okay, oh, give for this prophetic offering, this anointing offering, this offering for my children so they remain virgins. All these other, a lot of nonsense that we hear. You'll be focused. Okay. June, why is having a vision important?
one other thing, vision is what differentiates you from other people. It brings out your individuality. You know,
True.
we are so different. And
Mm.
when many people, we like being like others, you know, those who are successful. You know, it's like we want to go and read and start copying their life. We will be really, really wasting our time. Identify
Mm.
your individuality, who you are. And you are identified and differentiated by your vision, to the extent
Mm-hmm.
that when you mention Bill Gates, straight away Microsoft comes into
Yes.
people's mind. You mention
Mm.
the name Steve Jobs, it's Apple. You mention, you know, there are many people who we celebrate today. There are some who are alive, some who have gone, but the moment you mention their name, there is something that comes into you. When you mention somebody like Miles Monroe, leadership comes into your mind, because those are the things which they identify that this is the individuality, this is my individuality, this is something that I'm capable of, this is something that I am passionate about. And they went extra miles to make sure that they bring transformation into other people's lives. So when you know who you are, when you know who you are, when you know your vision, it differentiates you from other people, and actually it makes you appreciate who you are. You know, you can celebrate the Mother Teresa's, you can celebrate the Usain Bolts, you know, the fastest man, you know, in the world. He has got, I don't know how many records waiting there to be broken. You know, you can celebrate them. That is who they are. But what are we going to celebrate you with? What are the people, your generation, are going to be talking about you? What is that individuality aspect that you will bring into your community, into your society, into the globe, for people to remember you with? So when you have a vision, it differentiates you from others, and it removes this aspect of envying other people.
Mm.
You will celebrate them, but you'll also acknowledge and appreciate who you are. You know, I was reading a book, From Third World to First,
Mm.
written by Lee Kuan Yew, the first Prime Minister of Singapore. And
Mm.
in one of the things he was teaching, in one of the things he was sharing, is that once you are identify who you are, and for example, you transform that into a career, do it to the best of your ability. You know, an example was even given, like, you know, Singapore, because of not having a lot of resources, their main resource is tourism. So even when somebody is going to be a waiter or a waitress in a hotel, they do it in such a way that somebody will notice that I am really being served, because somebody
Mm.
has identified their individuality, that they are called into the industry of what do we call it, hospitality.
Yes.
So you do it to the best of, because that is what you know, distinguishes you from the other. The
Mm.
manager who runs the hotel or the tourist industry, let them do things behind the scene to the best of their ability. But you, who is in the front line, where people
Mm.
can see you, to the extent that the day you are not at work, everyone will notice that you are really not there,
Mm.
because
Yes.
you have embraced your individuality. So
Mm.
vision makes you different from other people. If you
Mm.
are back home, you know, in Africa, we have people who are drivers, you know, in companies. I worked in an organization. We had this young man. Oh my goodness. When you are going out for a trip with this young man, you know you're sorted, because the car is spotless. Everything is
Wow.
on time. He dresses so smart, to the extent that you go to the community, even the community people appreciate, and they say, this man, even though
Mm.
people might think he's doing a little job, he says, for me, my assignment is to make sure that things happen by making
Yeah.
people get there on time. And so he has acknowledged what is his individuality, and he's living it to the full capacity. He knows he's a driver. He's not going to envy the program director because he says, I don't even have those kind of skills. It's not even my area. But this one which I am doing, I will do it to the best of my ability. So vision distinguishes you from other people, and you don't have to envy others for who they are.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, June.
Yeah.
Okay. June, can you see the comments? Can you read some comments there? I'm trying to look for them here, but I think they're cut off.
Okay. I can see. Okay. Betty Mono says, God put a dream in a certain person who has the necessary character of doing it. Not everybody not everybody can even receive a vision. Wow, that's an interesting one. Yeah. And then Paul says, when you identify your individuality, this will make you know that you are a personality. Wow, that's
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Jim, let's move on. Oh, you're still reading? Okay.
Yeah. Samuel says, vision helps you to celebrate others while recognizing that you are also a personality. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so we are still talking about vision and why it's important in our lives. Having a vision is important in our lives. Okay, so another benefit of having a vision is that it makes your life interesting. If you have two people, one with a vision, one without a vision, you will choose the person you want to always talk to. Why do I say that having a vision makes your life interesting? I have an example here. So supposing, okay, you are invited to State House of your president to have a chat with the president of your nation, okay? And you're just sitting there with a cup of tea, and then he throws this question to you. You know what, June, what are you doing with your life? Okay. Then, then you just tell him, oh, Mr. President, I have this job, so every morning I wake up, I go out by 9, I come back after 6, and then I just make a meal for myself, go to sleep, watch some tele, go to sleep. So yeah, that's what I really do. And then on the weekend, I just meet up with friends. We have, and that's it. That's what you do for your life. So that's what you tell the president. Okay, he'll say that, okay. He may tell you, okay. And then he continues sipping his cup of tea. So just look at that answer, okay? And then let's have another answer. For example, you'll have the same opportunity to meet the president, and then you tell him, when he throws that question, what are you doing with your life? Then you say, oh, Mr. President, in my community, I've been looking around, I see this burden. We have lots of street children around. They are homeless. They are becoming a nuisance. Our community is getting dirty because of them. So I'm really saving up money to build a rehabilitation center for them, where I will house them in dormitories, train them to be responsible citizens. And then our streets will be more cleaner, more clearer, and everyone will be happy. And they will find a purpose for their lives. So tell me, of the two responses, which one is more interesting? I'm sure the president will applaud you and say, you know what? Wow. Can I have your telephone number? In fact, I want to fund your project because I see that you're adding value to this country. You're adding value to your community. You are a visionary person. So that's the kind of life we are seeing. You become more interesting to people. People want to hear your story. People want to hear from you because while you're inspiring them as well, you're making them wake up and say, you know what am I also doing? Am I living for myself? So that's the kind of interesting life that we are talking about. Okay. And also with being interesting in life is that every day you have something you're looking forward to. When you wake up in the morning, you get up with enthusiasm. Why? Because that day you'll accomplish something that will bring you closer to your vision. So it is an interesting life. Okay.
Mm.
And if you really do your research, you'll notice that people who are prone to depression, to self-harm, to becoming an alcoholic, at the back of their lives, they have lost a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
There's nothing to live forward to live for. There's nothing to look forward to. So they're hopeless. And that's why they indulge in that kind of lifestyle. So when you have a vision, actually you become more interesting in life. Life becomes more interesting and worth living. Okay. June, what do you have to say?
Yeah, that actually connects to something which I had in mind. When you are giving that example of this, person who will be speaking to the president and say, oh, actually, in my community, I can see there is a lot of street children. I would like to do. Vision is about transforming other people's lives. It is through vision that we bring change. Every change you see, all the things we are celebrating, it is somebody who sat down and had an idea, you know, and I'm seeing that through that, the president can even say, oh, I can see that you can head a certain particular department. I was looking for somebody to do it. All of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, your vision has propelled you to greater heights. The president or somebody can say, actually, I know somebody who is willing who has been looking for somebody with such an idea. I can connect you to that person. So what we are trying to say is that lives are transformed through visions. I always tell some young people, and I say, every organization you are employed, that is somebody's vision.
Yeah.
You say, oh, I want to work for Action Aid or Christian Aid, Save the Children. Somebody, if you go and look at the backgrounds of those, it started with an individual. It started with an individual who saw a need. And I don't think you really need to be super spiritual. You don't need to be superhuman to see a need out there in the
Yes.
community. I'm
Yes.
reading a comment here from Betty. It says, for receiving a vision, you need a heart to see the needs around you and the desire to do something about it.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Mm.
Each one of us, our eyes are attracted to something peculiar, which somebody else is not attracted to. So
Mm.
and you need to desire to bring that change. It is one thing, yes, to have the idea in your mind, but it's another thing now, what do you do with that? And
Yeah.
and if you have a vision which you don't fulfill, it just remains a dream. It will just be a
Mm.
dream you will wish. But once you transform that dream into action, that it becomes a vision. And that is why
Yeah.
we are emphasizing on this. Lives are transformed through vision. Every
Yeah.
solution you see that has been brought up, even the houses we are living, the chairs we are
Mm-hmm.
sitting on, the bed we are sleeping on. What I live in a community where space is
It's an
something you
issue.
pray for. You see, how did people come up with the idea of having apartments in cities? There are many things happen in the city, so people would like to live in the city. There became a problem of overpopulation. Somebody decided, maybe he was an architect or what, and he said, oh, I think I have a solution for this. We can have a 2-bedroom apartment, build another one on top of it, so you can have 20 apartments, 2-bedroom, on one plot of land,
On one
10
plot.
stories. Yeah, on
Mm.
one plot, 10 stories. So you have 20 families in a same plot. That is vision. Somebody saw a problem and decided to translate it into a solution. So anytime you see lives being transformed, it's a result of vision. And we want to encourage every one of our viewers, identify what is it that is around you that you really desire to see the change, and then go and take some small steps. Don't despise those small steps, because those are the ones which will lead to the result you want. So the importance of having really vision is that people's lives will be transformed,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Esther,
As you're talking, I was just thinking about Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook inventor, I don't know that he's not a Christian or what, so visions don't have to come from spirituality. That's one point.
Yeah.
Second point, this guy, I wish I could meet him one day and just thank him. Imagine, June, we're in different cities, we are talking as if we're on one table.
Yeah.
That was his vision. He said that, why can't I help reduce loneliness by connecting people in different areas to be on one platform?
Yeah.
Now we are being watched by people all over the world,